All right, so I have a coffee tabletop ready to go here. It's all glued up. If you want to know how I do my tabletops, I'll link the video. But I want to add breadboard ends to this coffee table. So I'm going to show you the process of doing that. And we're going to be using the Miles Craft Joint Mate. This is a dowel jig. Also link that video on how to use this. So with that said, let's get dirty. All right, now we're going to want to put some dowel holes here on the end. This table is actually upside down right now. This is the top. So I'm going to put one dowel hole here, two in this one, two in this one, and one in this one. Okay, so now that I have my dowel holes in, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to just make a mark on the top here, about in the center of this hole, and I want to mark this hole. Now the reason why is because after I get my dowels ready to go, I want to put a screw in these two to help hold these two dowels into place when I finish. So by adding a couple screws, that's going to strengthen these two so I don't have to worry about my breadboard end just breaking off. So I'll be doing the same thing for the dowel holes that I put into my breadboard end. So it will also have a couple 3/4 inch screws, which will get to the dowel. All right, so the next thing I want to do before I put my dowel holes into the breadboard end that I'm going to be using, I want to determine which side of this piece of wood I want on top. So this is going to be my top of the coffee table, because after I put the dowel holes in, I'm going to be flipping it like this to attach it to create the breadboard end. So make sure your top is facing up and the side that you want to the dowels is facing out. Okay, so now I want to line up my breadboard end and I want to clamp it down to the coffee table. Okay, so I got one dowel in, and then I want to put that dowel into the 3/8 inch hole. Now that I have that in, I'm going to push the fence until it's up against the coffee table, the bottom of the coffee table, and then tighten that down. Okay, so that's now our guide fence on where we want to put the dowels on the top piece. Now I'm going to throw a dowel into each hole, and then I want to square up my breadboard end. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the piece that I want on top, so this will be the top of the coffee table, the piece that I want on top is facing up. The next thing I want to make sure of is that the piece that I want against the side of the coffee table here is facing out. So what's going to happen is when I put it on, I'm going to flip it over and attach it like this. So let's get this piece squared up and we'll clamp that down. So now we're ready to start drilling the dowel holes in the top piece. So we're going to use the 3/8 inch slide it over the top. Slide it over the top of the dowel. Hold it in place, insert drill, and pull the trigger. And we'll just do that for each one of these. So now we just need to add a little bit of glue to each dowel and reinsert them into all the holes. So what we want to do is we want to make our two marks on this one and this one. Again, I flipped it over, so I'm working on the back here, because we want to put the 3/4 inch screws there for those dowels. All right, our glue is ready. We can just slide it into place. You may need to do some hammering. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same process for the other side. So for our last step, we transferred it to a pair of pipe clamps. The pipe clamps are going to be incredibly helpful in helping us get this all mushed together. We did hammer it, but the pipe clamps will take over and finish it up. I'm going to put some cowls on the breadboard ends just to make sure they stay square. So there we go. We have our breadboard ends. I threw a couple crossbars on it just to keep it honest. So after it dries, I'm going to find my marks that I made, and I'm going to put 2 pilot holes on each side, a couple 3/4 inch screws on each side, just to make sure that it goes into the dowel, and that will definitely strengthen this breadboard end. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of new episodes as they become available. If you're new to the woodworking hobby, check out my Woodworking for Beginners video series. It's a 12-part series. Just gives you a basic overview of woodworking techniques along with some simple step-by-step projects to do. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section. I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you'd like to support my channel, I'll put a link in the description to make a donation. Also, feel free to share me on your social media sites. That would be a great help. So until next time, keep it safe.